You've been feeling like something is off with someone close to you lately, and there's a powerful reason for those uncomfortable feelings. That person you trust most has been acting differently around you, watching you more carefully, responding to your emotions in ways that feel strange and distant. The universe has been trying to warn you through those restless nights, sudden moments of unease, and dreams where you felt like you were being observed or judged by someone you couldn't see clearly. Divine message has been revealed about what's really happening behind your back. Someone you love and trust has been sharing the most intimate details about you, your relationship, and your private moments with a complete stranger. This isn't just casual conversation with a friend. This is happening in a professional setting where your personal life is being analyzed, discussed, and potentially judged without your knowledge or consent. The spiritual energy around you has been disturbed because your sacred privacy has been violated. Those sudden feelings of being watched, the sense that someone knows more about you than they should, the uncomfortable feeling when they look at you with that analyzing expression. These aren't your imagination. The timing of this revelation coming to you now is divinely guided because you need to know the truth before any more damage is done to your peace of mind and your relationship. Here's what has been happening without your knowledge. Your person, your partner, spouse, or someone very close to you recently visited a therapist or psychologist. But instead of working on their own issues, they spent the entire session talking about you, not just casual mentions or brief references, but detailed, in-depth analysis of your behavior, your personality, your reactions, and your relationship dynamics. They've been painting a very specific picture of you to this mental health professional, someone who has never met you but is now forming professional opinions about your mental state, your emotional patterns, and your role in whatever problems exist. Your most private moments, your vulnerable times, your arguments, your intimate conversations, and your personal struggles have all been shared and clinically analyzed by a stranger. This therapist may have even given your person specific advice about how to deal with you or manage your behavior. They might have suggested techniques for handling your emotions or recommended ways to change the relationship dynamic. What makes this even more serious is that your person has been hiding these sessions from you while secretly implementing whatever strategies or insights they received. This isn't just a betrayal of trust. It's a fundamental violation of your right to privacy and emotional safety. What they revealed in that therapy session shows their true feelings about you, feelings they've been carefully hiding while pretending everything is normal between you now. You need to understand how to recognize the signs that this has been happening. Think about recent changes in how your person interacts with you. Have they started using new vocabulary when talking about emotions or relationships? Words that sound like therapy.speak or psychological terms they never used before? This happens because they're repeating language they learned from their sessions. Pay attention to how they respond to your emotions now compared to before. Instead of reacting naturally with empathy or concern, they might seem more detached and observational, like they're studying your behavior rather than genuinely connecting with you. They may have started implementing new boundaries or rules that seem to come out of nowhere, often framed as healthy relationship practices. Notice if they've become more analytical about your reactions to everyday situations. They might make comments about your patterns or seem to be mentally taking notes about your responses. When you mention therapy, psychology, or mental health topics, watch their reaction carefully. They may become uncomfortable, overly interested, or try to change the subject quickly. Have they started handling conflicts with you differently? Instead of the natural back, and forth of relationship disagreements, They might use techniques that feel manipulative or controlling, like refusing to engage emotionally or using phrases that sound rehearsed. The spontaneity and authenticity in your interactions may have decreased significantly. You might also notice they've been spending more time with certain friends or family members, possibly seeking additional opinions about you or validation for whatever they discussed in therapy. The overall feeling is that you're being studied and managed rather than loved and accepted. The universe wants you to know exactly what categories of information your person shared about you in that therapy session. They discussed your emotional patterns in detail, how you react when you're stressed, angry, or hurt. They described your communication style, probably focusing on what they see as problems or difficulties rather than your strengths. Your private, intimate details were shared without your consent. This includes information about your physical relationship, your personal habits, and behaviors that should remain between the two of you. They may have discussed your family background, your past relationships, or personal struggles you confided in them about. They likely portrayed themselves as the patient, understanding partner who has to deal with your emotional needs or reactions. The language they used probably painted you as the problematic one in the relationship. Too sensitive, too demanding, too emotional, or too difficult to please. They discussed your financial habits, your work stress, and how these things affect your mood and behavior. Your person may have shared details about your social relationships, your friendships, and how you interact with others. They probably discussed times when you were vulnerable, during illness, family problems, or personal crises. Describing these moments as examples of challenging behavior rather than normal human responses to difficulty, the therapist likely received a one-sided version of your relationship conflicts, with your person positioning themselves as the victim or the one trying to make things work. They may have even discussed your mental health or stability, suggesting you might need professional help while presenting themselves as the concerned supportive partner. Most concerning is that they probably receive specific recommendations about how to change or control your behavior, turning your relationship into a psychological experiment where you're the unknowing subject. The divine realm revealed this information to you now because you need to protect your authentic self from being psychologically manipulated and analyzed without your consent. Your energy has been compromised because someone has been studying and dissecting your natural responses, creating an environment where you can't be completely yourself. Start by energetically shielding yourself when you're around this person. Visualize a protective bubble of white light surrounding you, preventing them from psychologically penetrating your emotional space. When you feel like you're being observed or analyzed, mentally strengthen this shield and remind yourself that your authentic reactions are valid regardless of their interpretation. Create sacred spaces in your life where you can be completely yourself without fear of judgment or analysis. This might be time alone, with trusted friends, or in activities where you feel completely free to express your true emotions. Protect these spaces fiercely because they're essential for maintaining your emotional health. Learn to recognize when someone is using therapy techniques on you rather than communicating naturally. Professional therapeutic approaches have their place, but when used manipulatively in personal relationships, they create unhealthy power dynamics. Trust your instincts when conversations feel rehearsed, controlling, or designed to make you question your own reactions. Set clear boundaries about what aspects of your relationship and personal life are private and should never be shared with others, including therapists, without your explicit consent. Your intimate details, private struggles, and vulnerable moments belong to you, and sharing them without permission is a serious violation. Practice grounding techniques to stay connected to your own truth. When you feel like your reality is being questioned or analyzed, Deep breathing, meditation, or simply spending time in nature can help you maintain clarity about who you are beyond anyone else's interpretation of your behavior. Deciding whether to directly address what you've learned requires careful consideration of your specific situation and relationship dynamics. The universe has given you this knowledge for your protection, but how you use it depends on your goals and the nature of your relationship with this person. If you choose to have this conversation, approach it from the perspective of relationship boundaries rather than accusations. You might say something like, "I've been thinking about therapy and relationships lately, and I want to discuss what we both consider private versus what's okay to share with others, including therapists." Watch their reaction carefully when you bring up topics related to therapy, privacy, and relationship boundaries. Someone who has been secretly discussing, you will often become defensive, deflect the conversation, or try to make you feel like you're being unreasonable for wanting privacy. You have the right to request that future therapy sessions focus on their individual growth rather than analysis of you or your relationship. If relationship issues need professional attention, couples therapy provides a fair forum where both perspectives are heard and respected. Set clear expectations about what information about you, your relationship, and your private life should never be shared without your explicit consent. This includes intimate details, personal struggles, family information, and private conversations. If they become defensive or refuse to respect these boundaries, this reveals important information about their respect for you and your relationship. Someone who truly cares about your well-being will understand why unauthorized psychological analysis feels violating and will work to rebuild trust. Understanding that someone has been secretly analyzing and discussing you can feel deeply violating, but this knowledge also gives you tremendous power to reclaim your authentic self. The most important thing to remember is that their version of you, the one they presented to their therapist, is not the truth of who you are. You are not the problem that needs to be solved or managed. Your emotions, reactions, and needs are valid human responses, not pathological behaviors that require professional intervention. The fact that someone chose to pathologize your natural responses says more about their inability to handle authentic human emotion than it does about you. Start rebuilding yourself. Trust by reconnecting with people who know and accept the real you. Spend time with friends or family members who appreciate your authentic personality and don't try to analyze or change your natural responses. Their unconditional acceptance will help you remember who you truly are beyond anyone else's interpretation. Practice expressing your emotions freely in safe spaces. If you've been feeling watched or judged, you may have started suppressing your natural reactions. Give yourself permission to feel and express your emotions fully, whether that's joy, sadness, anger, or excitement. Your emotional intelligence and intuitive responses are gifts, not problems to be solved. Trust your instincts about people and situations, especially when someone tries to convince you that your feelings are wrong or inappropriate. This experience has actually strengthened your ability to recognize when someone is being inauthentic or manipulative. This revelation provides crucial information for making informed decisions about your relationship's future. The fact that someone chose to secretly analyze you with a professional rather than communicate directly with you about relationship concerns reveals fundamental issues with honesty, respect, and communication in your relationship. Look for signs that indicate whether this relationship can be rebuilt on a foundation of mutual respect. Are they willing to acknowledge that sharing private information without consent was wrong? Do they show genuine remorse and commitment to rebuilding trust? Or do they defend their actions and try to make you feel unreasonable for being upset? Pay attention to whether their therapy is actually improving your relationship or creating more distance and manipulation. Healthy individual therapy should make someone more emotionally available, empathetic, and communicative with their partner. If their sessions are making them more analytical, distant, or controlling with you, this suggests the therapy is being misused. Red flags include continued secretiveness about their sessions, implementing new techniques to manage your behavior, or using psychological language to dismiss your concerns. These behaviors indicate they're using therapy as a tool for control rather than genuine. Personal growth. Green flags include increased openness about their own struggles, better communication skills, and willingness to work together on relationship issues. They should also respect your privacy going forward and include you in decisions about couples therapy if relationship issues need professional attention. The decision about your relationship's future should be based on their actions and genuine changes, not on whatever insights they claim to have gained from analyzing you with their therapist. The universe revealed this information to you at exactly the right moment because waiting any longer would allow more damage to your emotional well-being and self-trust. Every day that passes while someone continues to secretly analyze and discuss you creates deeper wounds to your authentic self-expression and your ability to trust your own emotions and reactions. This divine timing means you have a window of opportunity to address this situation before it becomes even more entrenched and harmful to your mental health. Ignoring this revelation won't make the violation disappear. It will only allow the psychological manipulation to continue and potentially escalate. Your emotional and psychological well-being are sacred, and protecting them is one of the highest priorities in the spiritual realm. The fact that this knowledge came to you through divine guidance rather than accidental discovery shows that you have powerful spiritual protection working on your behalf. Take action now to set boundaries. Protect your privacy and reclaim your authentic self. Show your appreciation for this crucial spiritual guidance by giving super thanks up to $20. This energy exchange strengthens your connection to continued divine protection and wisdom as you navigate this challenging situation and rebuild your emotional safety.